Part-Time Heroes, who are just about to release their brand new album, the second album from them, entitled Lightfalls, which is out on YY45s on the 12th of March. Some people may not be that familiar with your music and your history, your career. So just very quickly, just go back to day one when you guys got together. Just tell us how you got together and what made you, more importantly, want to start making music together.
I'd say DJing, wasn't it?
DJing, yeah.
DJing in Southampton.
Similar clubs and bars and stuff. We were both hip-hop DJs and we both scratched a bit, so we sort of crossed paths quite a bit.
Yeah. And Toby was producing music at the time, I wasn't producing music, and I wanted to. And
so I took him under my wing.
No, it actually turned, it was me doing some scratches on one of your.
Oh, that's right, yeah, that's right.
The
First time we ever did anything together.
And it was, yeah.
But Toby basically kind of taught you the ways.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah, I had a little studio over in Walston in Southampton, and when that wasn't being used, I sort of smuggled Ross in.
And how long ago was this that you guys started?
2005.
Sounds about right.
So 3 years later, your first album came out.
As we started to work together, you know, the stuff we did initially was just sort of instrumental stuff, maybe with some sort of cuts, scratches and things, wasn't it? And then we kind of roped in, like Toby's always been in bands in Southampton, so he's always had kind of, obviously his sister Laura's a singer, and he's had a load of and access to all sorts of musical friends and circles and stuff. So Steve McCleary, John O, Dylan Clark, all the horn players, everyone that played on our first album and our first projects was kind of came through Toby, who used to be in bands with. And then we sort of started to bring more of the live element into the studio, and then started doing it live.
And the sound on that first album is quite different, well, quite a way away from hip hop. We used to both start as hip hop DJs, and there's a lot of folk and quite a melancholic kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know,
a bit more grown up, I guess, in a way.
I think we were.
I wouldn't go that far.
I think we were.
Because we're both diggers, you know, both gone back to find those breaks from hip hop and stuff, and along the way you sort of come across all these other different types of music, and it's sort of trying to emulate possibly more of that than actual hip hop tracks. You know, both really love like Terry Callier, and that's like where a lot of the acousticy stuff comes in, and just sort of, and by and large jazz is quite melancholic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the bits we liked anyway, so that's why it kind of has that. That's the one thing that binds our musical taste together. It's got to have anything like that sort of emotional content, and then, you know, that's how we put it all together.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the players as well had an influence on that, because some of the are super jazzy, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're all very miserable. So that kind of works out in our favour.
But it's always been quite heartfelt music, I think.
Yeah, well, I think I'd like to hope so. Toby and I really try to kind of always, you know, the music that we listen to constantly. Not that we're really miserable.
No, we're not.
It's music that's, you know, heavily laden with, you know, emotion, and, you know, driven by emotion, and something that actually, you know, it comes through when you listen to it, like a rawness and an honesty, and we try to put that into our music where it comes across on our own.
So it was 3 years from you getting together to releasing Meanwhile,
Yeah.
and it's now been 4 years between Meanwhile and Lightfalls.
I know.
What have you been doing?
What have we been doing? Well,
we did a couple of little side projects,
Yeah, we
bits
did.
and pieces.
we did some bits and bobs. Both of us had to knuckle down and work our asses off.
Yeah.
You built a studio.
Yeah, in the past couple of years, it's like the the grim reality, obviously it's not a great time for musicians or music in general in this country at sort of grassroots level. So I thought, right, we've got these sets of skills and trying to make a business out of that. So, you know, just trying to make a buck or two as well as trying to write the album. So I did slow the process down quite a lot.
And as well, I think that we kind of had an album. Well, maybe what did we have, like 15 sort of
15
ideas
sketches, yeah.
and things like that, and then kind of about 18 months ago or so we sort of had a few sort of demos in various states of completion, and then we decided we didn't really like them.
Yeah.
Didn't we? It was sort of because, say, it had taken 2.5 years from the point of when we finished the album to at the point we were at with all the various new demos, but kind of what we'd been influenced in the music, we'd grown as producers, I think, and the music we were both listening to and the music we were being influenced by had changed so much that when we sat down to look at the first sort of lot of demos,
we'd gone off that vibe.
Well, it was more just so they were really disjointed, and we didn't want that to be. We kind of really tried to look at the new album as an album and something that's really cohesive.
Yeah. Because meanwhile, although it's sort of got all similar instruments and similar feels to it, it still can feel a little bit disparate, because at the time I think we were just like, this is great to sort of put all our best things in there, not maybe not have crafted it as much as we have this one. So we were quite ruthless and cut out quite a lot of chaff to get like a nice pure 9 tracks that all fit really really well together. So
would you say the I guess you can call it a burgeoning electronic scene in this country at the moment, or worldwide at the moment, really influenced this album a lot more than the first album?
I think so, yeah. I mean, not that we've tried to make an album that's electronic, but I think it's kind of, we sort of made a conscious decision way back, like when we first started writing ideas, that we wanted to kind of get back to where we sort of started with sampling and things like that.
There's a lot of soul and that, grassroots soul music in there. How do you feel you fit in with that sort of soul funk scene, and how do you feel you fit in with the electronic scene? I know you said like the electronic scene is vastly wider, but do you feel you kind of fit in comfortably in both those scenes, or neither?
I don't really know. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
It's going to be, until the album's actually come out and people have listened to it. It's difficult to know whether it can sit alongside stuff. It's not something we've consciously tried to make it sit in with stuff, or
but we also consciously didn't try to make it like a crossover from anywhere to anywhere else record though.
No.
So it's like
that's a really difficult question.
That is a difficult. I would say no. I don't think it fits in it anywhere, which I know is. I know
it's terribly worrying as a record label.
But but that's the thing.
It's too late to cancel the whole thing.
Which one do you put it behind? I'd say at the end of the day, it's just if you need to label it something, you just have to label it electronica, because it's, as opposed to meanwhile, again, like there's not anywhere near the sort of level of soloing or those kind of performances. It's really the drums and the bass that get a proper rinsing out on this album. The rest of it's more textural and structural.
Are you saying it's not as noodly?
It's definitely nowhere near as noodly. Because it gets back to that thing about that you were saying about sampling, is that kind of that melancholic thing. Even like you think about They Reminisce Over You, despite the fact that that's quite a sentimental track, it's that sample and that discordance between when you slide certain things over each other, and that's the sort of more that sort of thing we try to go for, is keep it sort of repetitive but still quite heartbreaky. But there's very little noodling on there.
Yeah, there's very little.